Did you know? In 1909, Matthew Henson stood at the top of the world, the first man to reach the North Pole. Yet, for decades, history almost erased his name because he was a black man in a time that refused to give him credit for his brilliance and courage. Matthew Alexander Henson was born in 1866 in Charles County, Maryland, to parents who had been enslaved. From a young age, Henson's life was marked by hardship and perseverance. Orphaned early, he took to the seas at just 12 years old, working as a cabin boy on a merchant ship. That's where he learned navigation, survival, and geography, skills that would later make him one of the greatest explorers in history. Years later, Henson met Robert Peary, a U.S. Navy engineer and explorer who recognized Henson's skill and invited him to join his Arctic expeditions. Henson quickly proved himself invaluable. He mastered dog sledding, map-making, and the Inuit language. He gained deep respect from the Inuit people, who admired his strength, skill, and humility. In fact, they called him Maori Paluk, the kind one. Between 1891 and 1909, Peary and Henson made multiple dangerous journeys to the Arctic. These were brutal expeditions marked by freezing temperatures, starvation, and loss of life. But Henson's knowledge and endurance often kept the entire team alive. On April 6, 1909, after years of failed attempts and near-death experiences, Henson and 4 Inuit guides, Uta, Ijingwa, Siglu, and Ukia, reached the North Pole. Peary arrived shortly after. According to Henson's own account, he was the first to actually reach the exact point, planting the American flag in the ice. But when the story made headlines, only Peary's name appeared. Henson, the man whose skill made the journey possible, was largely ignored by the press, historians, and even the U.S. government. Racism, pure and simple, buried his contribution under layers of frost and silence. It wasn't until years later that the truth began to thaw. In 1912, Henson published his autobiography, A Negro Explorer at the North Pole, where he details his experiences and role in the expedition. Slowly, recognition began to grow. By the 1930s, the Explorers Club in New York finally acknowledged his achievements. In 1944, Congress awarded him the same medals given to Peary. And in 1988, nearly 70 years after his historic journey, Henson's remains were reinterred with honors at Arlington National Cemetery, next to Peary's. Matthew Henson's story is a powerful reminder that greatness doesn't depend on recognition. It depends on resilience, mastery, and truth. He proved that a black man, born just after slavery, could conquer the harshest place on earth when the world refused to even see him as an equal.